Oh, we here. I talked to you about the fact I was gonna do a podcast. Man, everybody been saying, "Ro, you need to do a podcast," and I've been having this on my chest for couple years now. Man, shout out to one of my partners, still my brother. You know what I'm saying? He told me that I needed to do this a couple years ago, but I knew I was called to do it, but I was just more on the level like afraid, but I wasn't. I was more afraid of what I thought I was gonna be losing. I had tasted the world, so I didn't want to get that up. You hear me? I had started off on fire for God, right? And through an experience, and we'll talk about that on another episode. Shoot, I backslid and I went back in the world went full fledged. It's like it was intense because I really was enjoying what I had, right? And I didn't want to let that go. But through submission of God, humbling myself, realizing, it's not all about me. It's about others. It's about bringing more people to Him. I have to lay down my life for other people, the same way as Christ did for us, right? Um, so on this episode, I just want to touch bases on what we doing. First, I want to show the shirt, right? Peep the shirt. Hold on, I don't know if y'all can see all the way. But yeah, this is how we coming. It did. But God, I don't know if you could really see it, like, you know what I'm saying? But that's what it say on there. You always had a but God moment, right? Anything in your life, you got a testimony where you knew it was nobody but God that got you out that jam. You know that, and I know that. So He gave me that name years ago, and it just stuck with me. But most importantly, this is what we going with. I don't know if you can see at the bottom, but yeah, Trap Ministries. Why? Because that's why I like to be. I like to be in the mix. I like to be in the streets. If you know me, you know you didn't see me outside. I'm gonna be outside, right? That's what a disenfranchised that. The have-nots, the forgotten people that have been forgotten about, right? Um, and it's an acronym TRAP, to reach and propel. To reach down and not only reach down, but to propel you to the next level. That's what we're gonna do with this, right? So that's just me letting y'all know what's going on. It's just raw and uncut right now. I got the equipment and everything, but over time you're gonna see intros to the videos, YouTube channels, TikTok. You're gonna see it on all platforms. You're just gonna watch it grow, and most important, you're gonna watch me grow. So as I continue to grow and evolve, you're going to continue to grow and evolve. I'm not presenting to you a finished product or nothing like that. I'm presenting, and I'm talking about myself because I have not arrived. So I want y'all to be able to relate and be able to know, like, okay, if he's still in the process, don't feel bad for you feeling like you continue you in the process too, of still learning the word and things like that, right? I want you to grow with me. I don't want to present a false image to y'all. So just know, I'm bringing it to you how you bringing it to me. I'm coming just like this. Raw and uncut, that's what it's going to be. I'm going to show you, I got a surprise for you in a minute. But anyway, let's get to it. What do I want to talk about today? Well, one of the biggest things that had recently happened outside of the Diddy situation, we can get on that on another time, right? Was the Shador Sanders situation in the NFL. And, I listen to a lot of people's opinions and I just sit back and I just listen, right? But God set me down and He showed me a few things, and He brought the word humble to me and pride to me. That's what He brought. And so I just studied, I meditated on that. Um, and he gave me a conclusion on what was going on. So off top, he was projected to go to the first round, right? One or two, the first pick or the second pick, but he ain't go. He dropped all the way down to the fifth round, right? On the surface level, we saw what we saw. We knew that it had a racial undertone to that as far as why they allow for him to drop through racism. We know that. We get it, right? But all in all, on a spiritual level, which supersedes natural. This is natural. This is spiritual. We know God in full control, right? We know that. We understand that. We get that. But why did God allow this to happen? Why did God allow Coach Primetime, Coach Deion Sanders, as great as he is, why did he allow his son to drop to the fifth round? Because he loved him. Because he loved him. He said the word says that he chastises those whom he loves, right? That's what it says. Only God knows what's in the hearts of you if you say you belong to him, right? So on the grand scheme of things, Coach Prime, believed that he was going to be able to maneuver his son through the draft process like Archie Manning did with Eli, right? That's what they was able to do. But God hands is on Coach Prime, right? So he went on a media press run saying a few things. My son, he ain't gonna go here, he not gonna do this, he not gonna do that. This is on a public platform. Now remember, he belongs to God. So God looking back like, okay, you saying what you not gonna do. I gotta put an end to that. I've given you the platform, I've given you the gifts, I've given you the talents, but I'm the same God before I gave it to you. I pulled you out the ghetto. I pulled you out the hood when you was in Florida. And I pulled you out certain situations when you came into the NFL. You haven't forgotten about me, but I got to remind you this is my show. In order for me to remind you that this is my show, I'm going to allow the NFL to do what they're going to do to your son. Right? Because I know it's going to get your attention. Because you belong to me, we have a connection. So I know when all the cameras go off and me and you talk, you gonna hear me now. You reminded this is my show. I gave you the platform. I know it's gonna hurt you, but I'm allowing it to happen because I got something big for you. And I can't have you going through this situation the way you want. I gotta remind you this is my show. I run this here, not you. And it brought me to the word that it was James chapter 4, verse 6, that God gives grace to the humble, but he resists the proud. It was another scripture that said, Matthew 23:12, I believe he said, for if you exalt yourself, for those who exalt themselves, lift themselves up, they shall be humbled. But those who humble themselves shall be exalted. Humility is very important when you're walking with God. It's very, very important. Now, all on social media, you kept hearing, oh, they want us to humble ourselves. We can't be this, that, and the third, right? Oh, get him mad because he's a confident black man. All of that, right? While we do understand that it's true on the natural level, spiritual humility under God is different than humility by a man's standards. Man's standards, especially by the spirit of racists, they want you to bow your head down and, adhere to what they're saying, doing it the way they want. Nah, we ain't talking about that. God does not want you to be like that. He wants you to be confident, but in him. He wants you to be reassured, but in him. He wants you to be steadfast, but in him. He wants you to be able to accomplish, but through him. So what happened with Shador could happen with anybody. That was a lesson for everybody. That was a lesson for me. boy, look, don't you all right, you better keep it right. Cause I will humble, I will, yeah, bring it on. I would, but also in that, you gotta realize that uh you will be lifted up. This is not the end. This is not the end. And so while the NFL may be gloating and saying, hey, yeah, we got him in the 5th round, we showed him. It'd be the same God to come right back around while Coach Prime is praying for his sons and while his sons going through what they're going through and learning the way of God on their own, that he'll raise them up so high and make them put their foot on the NFL. See, God controls everything. You understand? God controls everything. But we gotta remember whose show it is, especially when we belong to him. See, when he got his hands on you, bro, you know, you can't, he gonna bring you, he's gonna bring you to it, through it, and out of it. His way, not your way. That's the hardest thing to accept, that you're not in control when you belong to him. Now, if you belong to the devil, you know he gonna let you get it how you live. He gonna give it to you fast. He gonna give it to you how you whatever. But you're gonna destroy yourself in the process, right? So that's what happened with that. God showed me that. He had me meditate on that. That is not about being humble by man's standards, because by man's standards, the devil's standards. We want you to be downtrodden, depressed about yourself. No, you should be confident. But where is your confidence coming from? Is it coming from how you live? Is it coming from your clothes? Is it coming from, other material things, the car you drive? Or is it coming from the God that you're supposed to believe in? You dig? Who is coming from? So when God knows that it's not truly, or you getting lost in your own sauce, that old man start to rise up, you dig? He gonna allow things to have you fall, especially if you belong to him, because he needs you back in position for what he want to do with you later. I can't have you on a grand level of things, on an ultimate level, doing it your way, how you want to do it. You represent me at the end of the day. My name is good, but you represent me. And if you doing it the way you want, you're going to cause others to fall and believe that's the way it's supposed to be. This walk is a walk of integrity. Is it easy? No. It ain't for the weak. Are you going to make mistakes? Yes. But it's how you respond to it, not how you react. So that's what God had me to sit on that day. Humility. Very, very important, man. Humility. But that's what I wanted to bring to y'all. But peep game, I got a surprise for y'all. I want to show y'all something. Hold on. Look at that. Fly, huh? Yeah. Back. So that's what we doing. We coming like that. Like I told y'all on the video before, I'm gonna drop like 50 episodes where I'm just telling you about my story, experiences that I've had, experiences that people have had with me, to know that I'm not pulling your leg or nothing like that, And then in a minute we gonna start really bringing you around. We gonna travel with this. We gonna might be going your way. We'll be interviewing a lot of people. Who are these people? I don't know yet. Whoever God sent. But I just wanted to touch bases with y'all to let y'all know we working. Man, in a minute we gonna have merch. I got the socks on too. Hold on. Yeah, y'all see it. So in a minute we gonna have merch. We're gonna have all that. You heard me? But man, have a blessed rest of your day. Be confident, be reassured, be steadfast, have peace, have joy, all of that. And God, never forget who got you there. You know what I'm saying? There's always levels to it, man. There's always levels to it. But y'all have a blessed day, man. Y'all be cool.